Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video. If This is basically gonna be one of those videos that I described in the update vid that I uploaded last week. If you haven't watched that, please do. It's basically gonna summarize the gist on what's gonna happen with the channel for now. This is gonna be one of the new videos that I was talking about, and to start off this new era of my channel, and in lieu, it's an interesting word, Lieu, I don't know if I'm using that right, in lieu of announcing my trip to Japan, which by the time of recording is a week from now, and to start a new series, I'm gonna make basically a video series on different kinds of building styles for Minecraft, and in this case it's gonna be Japanese style architecture. So I placed several builds here that I made by myself and the palettes for them. So I'm gonna try and guide you guys through building in Minecraft using Japanese architecture style. Now please note that I am not a very good builder, so I'll try my best. I know there are a lot of other people that are great at this, like Grian, the Hermitcraft members, the Dream SMP members, those people. I'll try and do my best to help you guys with builds. Okay, so first off, I have this simple little Japanese modern house. This is the palette right here. This is the kind of housing that you might see in Japan. If you watch animes like Demon Slayer, you might be familiar with this kind of house. It basically has dark wood outlining, so I use dark oak. And some parts of the outlining are pretty thin, so I recommend using fences. And it's gonna have white walls, so I use concrete. The windows I've seen are like those paper frames, though it's not Minecraft, so I use the next best thing, which is these new bamboo trapdoors, which look really, really cool. The floor outside is spruce wood, and inside you have the traditional bamboo flooring that you'll see in a lot of Japanese houses and buildings. I didn't really decorate the interior. I'm gonna show that off later. Now, actually, hold on, I forgot one more fact about these kinds of modern houses. There are two kinds of roofs you can do. You can do a slope, like the steeper roof like this, so you can mix up blocks and stairs, or there's this next one where you can use slabs. And this is a perfect transition to the next build, which is like a more complicated and a bigger Japanese house. Now, I needed some reference images for this. For this kind of house, I used the slab roof, and I also showed that you can use two different kinds of roofing. You can use stone bricks and you can use black stone. It doesn't matter which one, you can choose whichever you like. This is the palette that I used. As you can see, it's pretty simple. Blackstone and stone bricks are interchangeable, but it's most likely gonna be required if you're gonna make the base floor like this, and the outline is gonna be more lighter, so it's a spruce wood. I didn't put much of the thinner outlines, and the floors and windows are gonna be bamboo. The interior isn't much, but I'm gonna explain what else you can add for the interior. Again, this is what the house looks like. The roof, you can put it in front so people can see like the slope like this. It looks really good. And then you can make like a T shape and then put more roofs here. It looks really good in my opinion. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, also, important note, if you're gonna use logs for the outline, for the floor, make the logs vertical like this. It'll look way better. Next, we have the interior design. So I have several choices of interior. Also, I made this extra. I don't know which category this went to, so I'm just shoving this into interior. So this is a very simple futon. A futon is basically kind of like a piece of furniture or bed in Japan. It's basically like this. You can just put like a white carpet on. If you're like fancy, you can try and put a pillow with like an armor stand peeking out. I'm not really good at that kind of stuff. I know people in the community are really good at that, so yeah, you can just go creative with any of these builds. Now these are the interior. The plants that I selected are the new torch flower, which can be like a very creative birds of paradise. Oak saplings actually work really well as bonsai because of their branches and shape, and the new cherry blossom saplings, which I know so many people love. I personally really like the cherry blossoms. I have an example of that later on. Now, for lighting, they're usually gonna use lamps like these. You're gonna use hanging lights. If you want to make lamps, you can make them like this with an end rod and sea lantern. This is also what closets are gonna look like, with barrels on top and 2 doors, very fancy like that. Use spruce and all that lovely stuff. And next one is a kind of table you can use in houses and restaurant builds. If you've been to Japanese restaurants, you're gonna recognize this. Now, they don't really have seats, they have cushions, and you can put your feet on. Actually, no, don't put your feet under the table. You're supposed to sit in like the crisscross applesauce, you know? If you want, you can put furnaces here so it looks like a hibachi grill, or you can put, actually no, not furnaces, but what's better is the smooth stone slab. It'll look very good as like hibachi grill style, where the cooks will make the food in front of you. It's really nice. If you haven't experienced it, I highly suggest it. It's really fun. And also, another idea for the paper frame windows, you can also use white glass. It's a little more clear, but I think it gets the job done. Now, these are the stairs you can make inside. If you noticed in this build, I incorporated that there. So basically what these stairs are gonna be like, they're normally off to the corner surrounded by a wood wall. So I used stripped spruce logs, and then the stairs are gonna match the flooring, so you're gonna use bamboo stairs. And again, I put the outlined walls like this. Yeah, that's basically it. And this is an extra. I don't know where to put this, so I just plopped it into the interior. This is gonna be a very simple Zen garden. This is basically what it'll look like. I know people in the community very creative with this. From what I saw, they'll put either a path block or gravel block around it to put the borders. The gate is gonna be a what's it called? A torii gate, which I'll also explain later on. There's gonna be a lot of plants around, so you can use bamboo. I put tropical fish down here, which can act like koi. There's also lily pads, little stone buttons, so they look like misplaced stones. Make it look very natural. And in the front of the torii gate, I also wanted to add, you can put a banner. Now, in most torii gates, they're gonna have the kanji inscriptions on them. Now, you can go crazy on this, do whatever you want. I just made like a placeholder example like this, but I know there's a lot of custom texture packs and you in the community can go nuts. So yeah. And the next thing I have to show is these cherry blossom trees. Now, for the cherry blossom trees, you're gonna, if you want this petal falling effect, you're gonna have to put the leaves pretty high. Now, you can use the traditional can use the vanilla Minecraft trees where you just grab a cherry sapling and some bone meal. You go out, just put the sapling there, and then boom, it's done. Now, oh wow, that actually looks pretty cool. Now, I know a lot of people in the community love to use custom trees, so I designed my own. So it's pretty big, it has roots, it gets a little bit thinner on the way up, like a cherry blossom tree. And I basically put a lot, if you can't see, but I put a lot of branches, and then made the batches of leaves more pom-pom like. That's how I can describe it, I don't know. And yeah, it's basically what it looks like. The benefit for custom trees is you can put down a lot of petals on the floor, make it look very natural. Don't put like here. Let me try and make an example. Where are they? Petals. There. Okay. Now, what you're gonna want to do is make it very natural. Make it look very, what's it called? Organic. Don't just put like one there. No, that doesn't really look as natural. You can mix up the amounts of petals per block and that'll make it look very much better. Next thing I have to show is the Torii gates, as I showed in the previous build. Now there are two kinds of Torii gates that I've seen on Google. There are the really big ones and the normal size small ones. If you're gonna make a very big Torii gate, then I suggest using these branches. It's kind of like for these Torii gates, they'll extend out to put extra legs down for support, and it also makes it look better if you have a big Torii gate. The bottom is gonna be like black concrete, and the top slab line thing is also gonna be black concrete. You can put blackstone stairs to make it more streamlined and edged, and the whole thing is red concrete. For the smaller one, you can just downscale this and don't put the little support branches off. You can remove these blackstone if it's pretty small, and it still looks really good. You put also this block of red concrete in between to separate this middle layer, and for the big ones you can also make another, for this line here, jut it out, but for the small ones you can make them pretty simple. Next one, if you've been to Japan a lot, you know there are gonna be street food vendors. This one I've made a ramen cart, so it's basically gonna look like this. I use a texture pack for invisible item frames. I'll show you the link on where to get that and a bunch more for Minecraft Bedrock. You're gonna make this food cart pretty light, so you're gonna use a lot of wood blocks. You can use fences, and an important part is to put these trapdoors on the bottom so that it looks like wheels. Again, this is also a texture pack for glass windows, for glass doors, so I can add that down there. You can custom name the items so it's more detailed. You can put a smoker over here on the side, and for the top it's gonna be a black roofing. And what I've seen in a lot of food stalls is that they'll put signs, they'll put banners, one with each character, hiragana, katakana, kanji character, anything, on the top. So I tried to imitate hiragana for ramen. I don't know if you can see it, probably. I know, again, people can be very creative with this, so you can go ham, do whatever you want. This is basically just kind of like a base or like a startup for these kinds of Japanese style builds. The second to the last one I'm gonna show you is the old style Japanese temples. This is the palette over here. If you're big fans of the Pokemon games, you might recognize this. It's basically kind of like a small version of the bell tower from Pokemon Gold and Silver. Now what they do, they'll put black roofs per floor to separate them from the outside, like this. And I dotted them with gold blocks at the edge, like that. And with that big gold thing at the top. I'm not really that knowledgeable in the Johto games. I'm pretty sure this is the bell part of the bell tower. And again, there are the outlines. Now, I used mangrove fences for this because they're pretty much red, like the outline will be. And the inside will again be the white walls. Kinda like this. And the last build I'm going to present is the large scale builds. Now, if you're gonna build a very big thing, this is basically an example of like a giant gate. This is basically what it's kind of look like. This is the palette right here. So what you'll see immediately, the eye catcher is the detailed roof. Now what I did for the roof, I actually inspired this off another Minecraft build. I'll post the place where I found it in the description. Now what I saw was that they make kind of like a W thing for the front and the back, and it's gonna be the steep arched roof like this. So what I did is basically play with a lot of slabs and stairs. So like if it's a slab like this, okay, so I'm gonna put one block above, one block above, one block above, and then you slowly get steeper, put 2 blocks worth, 2.5 blocks, until you reach the top, and it should look like this. There's again the white walls. White walls are very common in Japan. I don't know why, although to be fair, I can't blame them, it looks very good. There's the they actually use, for this one I used red and the spruce strip log outline, kind of like this. The bottoms of like the supporting pillars are gonna be spruce, and what I did for these walls, I put a red outline so it kind of looks like gates, and then put an inner black pillar inside, so it should look like that. And again, the white walls. This is alright, so that is all the tips I have for now. I'll definitely make a part 2 if I get extra ideas. Again, you can be very creative with this. You don't need to follow a rigid plan. Again, the best way to build is to build with your own style. Now, these things are just kind of like themes you can follow, but anything you want to do, you can basically build that. There's no limits to building, maybe the height limit, but yeah, you can, if you want, you can follow this. And if you learn something from this video, that's great, I guess. I didn't really script this thing. So yeah, if you learned something from this video, that's very great. If you find other tips, please put them in the comments, and ideas for other episodes for the series, also put them in the comments. Yeah, that's basically all I have for this video. If you're up to the end, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you'll stay tuned for this new era and this new series and this new thing on my channel. I am very excited for all the new stuff I have planned, so please stick along for the ride. Alright, bye guys.